How does it
Say it.
sound now? How does it
Sounds
sound?
good.
Like you're
I don't
whispering. Can you talk louder?
I don't get why the fuck it just sounds so bad when I'm on Skype. Like I don't get that. I
Just
I, I
I
adjust
don't
don't
the
get it
thing on the
either.
Skype.
like I'm just so fucking
Well,
confused by this dumbass shit.
we're having an intervention. I was telling Devin, we're having an intervention when I get to Chicago that Saturday. I'm coming over and we're figuring it out.
I'll figure it out myself and just get a new fucking
Will you?
laptop. Yeah, I've said this
You
for
already
weeks.
I don't
you
think
already
you will.
tried that.
I
You
Yeah.
don't
got a
think you
new
will.
laptop.
Well, time to try again. Go to the pawn shop. Give it up to the old man. No, I can't give it to him anymore. It would have to be
Oh, too
Rick.
soon.
Rick and
Gotta give it
Chum.
fucking Chumley.
Yeah, I give you $10,000 for this laptop. It's like, no, Chum, you fucking idiots. You're supposed to not give him that much.
Hey,
What
start
if
the
you just
show.
got Welcome to the Relatively Jumbo podcast. See, you've got me held hostage because I don't want to do it to spite you, but I have to start
You
the
have to
show.
start the show. That's why I win.
Welcome to the Relatively Jumbo podcast. My name is Nick. Today is Thursday, August 13th. Follow us on Twitter at Jumbo Podcast, on Instagram, Jumbo Podcast. Look up on our YouTube. We've got the episode wrap-up videos that we record after the episodes, a little something extra. So like and subscribe on there. Just search the Relatively Jumbo Podcast. I promise you will find it. Fellas, how are we doing today?
Good if my shit wasn't fucked. Be doing a lot better.
That's a good description. Your shit is fucked. We're going to have to figure that out. We're having a technological intervention when I come out there and
We're
Labor
gonna
Day
figure it
weekend.
out together.
Can I ask one question just because I'm very curious? So I
Yeah.
believe we were supposed to start recording 40 minutes ago, and you got on 10 minutes ago. What were you trying to figure out in those 30 minutes that you didn't figure out as soon as you got
Legitimate.
on?
Well, these are new problems that we're having. Like I wasn't even taking into the fact that the computer audio was fucked up. I thought I fixed that a couple of days ago. This is literally just straight up internet situations. So it was just running slow to begin with. As you can tell, I'm not even on the Skype right now because it just doesn't even run. It doesn't even run that well for me. I can't even get my picture up there. They can't even see my beautiful mug. So it's just we're running slow over here. I don't know if we got to send the bandwidths over to my end. Maybe Michelle's taking up a lot of the bandwidths in the place. She hears me right now. That's why she's coming in. And she's really playing a ton of music and stuff too. Good lord. I can't get any privacy in this place.
Are
She's
you
practicing
snitching on the
those-
old lady?
Yeah,
She's practicing those
I am.
TikTok dances. You got to get in the game, kid.
Yeah, I know. I have to.
Yeah.
She's forcing me to.
You got to shake your wiener and move your hands around.
I used to do that before TikTok.
Guys talking about sex?
My boy's married. He's a pro at sex.
Moving my wiener and shaking my hands around. Wait, what was it?
So we'll get it figured out. Maybe.
Maybe.
doubt it.
That's really hopeful.
Every week there's a new problem.
Don't worry.
I got to treat you like grandpa. Like I'm going to write on a Post-it note exactly what you have to do if the audio starts fucking up again.
I think so. That honestly will help me a lot because a lot of the problems, it's all about just muscle memory of knowing where to go for the computer. And I did it one time. I thought it would just be set for life, and apparently it's not. So this is a really bad Steve situation that this is just I'm a dumbass. I can't say it any more than just that.
I wish I could see you. It's not as much fun when I can't see you.
Yeah, I'm like I have the biggest pout right now. I'm just annoyed.
I would love to see that. That's the thing. I know
Yeah,
it's there, and I
and that's
can't
half
see
the
it.
problem. That's half the problem. That's the problem we're having. You can't see it because the shit's fucked. So
Shit is
Well, it's a
fucked.
podcast. It's an audio podcast, anyways. So you'd be
yeah,
better off describing how you feel.
there's hurt in
In
my heart.
The listeners are definitely deaf at this point. There's no way there isn't serious
I look at the
eardrum
waves. My
trauma.
waves are not that bad. My waves are not bad right now. My waves are
No,
flowing. It's like a
you got good
beautiful
waves.
ocean. We're like on a high tide and low tide right now with my waves. Yours are a little too dramatic, Devin. In my humble opinion, you get a little too high up there for my
I got
liking.
small waves.
No, your waves are fairly big. You have small waves because you don't talk that much, but when you do, those
It's
waves are
impactful. You're
bumping.
right.
They're
Yeah,
bumping.
I don't have a lot to
what
say,
the
but what I
fuck?
do
What are
have to
we even
say.
talking about? You guys are saying you haven't said anything in
Audio
the last two.
waves. Audio waves. Our new band, Audio Wave. We'll go after Audio Slave.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to Chris Cornell, the man, the main.
Well, the first thing I wanted to talk about is the NBA bubble. I'm moving past the internet. I don't give a
Fucking
shit.
dude,
You,
you're an amazing segue artist. If I haven't said that before, we went from audio waves, rest in peace, Chris Cornell, to let's talk about the bubble. Let's jump
Well,
right in.
when you're dealing with us two, you're gonna have to learn how to do that pretty quickly. So Nick is the transitioner. He's the official transitioner.
What are we
there
talking
wasn't
about?
even a transition there. I just slammed on the brakes. Like
Yeah.
at some point, I gotta move along. So there were two things that I wanted to talk about in the NBA, and neither of them really had to do with the actual game being played. But the first one was Damian Lillard just going America all over everyone's ass and just shoving it up people's butts.
He's
Just
pretty good at basketball. I think
Yeah.
he
just
really
Paul
understands
George
that,
and
like,
yeah.
you put the ball in the basket, and then that's how you get points. And I think that's one thing he's good at.
Yeah. Putting that thing in there.
Well, if
He
I
gets
was
it in.
everybody else in the league, I would be pissed off at Patrick Beverly and Paul George because they really just made him mad, and now he's going to be a problem.
Yeah, and I just feel like that's kind of what Paul George does. He's really just kind of or that's Patrick Beverly too. I mean, they're both just kind of irritators, but that's really most of their thing. And specifically Pat Beverly too. It's just that people I think are afraid of Patrick Beverly because he's a Chicago guy, and that's got a scary mantra to it. But Dame, he seems like he isn't gonna stand for that bullshit. Like that's he's a pure scorer. He's trying to show he's the best guard in basketball. Right now, I think he is. Would
Yeah,
anybody
he is.
disagree? Nobody disagrees with that. He's literally putting up 30 points a night. I mean, if you're doing that as a
Well,
guard, I mean, he put up
In
fucking
Portland.
60. Yeah, I
he
mean,
put up
yeah.
50. I think it was 51, and then the next game put up 61 with 5 assists.
So if he
But
doesn't get 71, are you going to be disappointed next game?
Yes.
yeah,
He
that's
never
that.
stopped scoring 10 more points.
He's setting up lofty standards. Okay, what am I supposed to do? Not be disappointed in him? I mean, he's the one that's setting these standards.
Game 3 of the finals, he put up 191 points. It was amazing.
And he had 20 assists. It doesn't make sense. It's fucking
It.
bananas.
I can't.
So essentially, if you missed it, Portland was playing the Clippers, and Lillard made a three earlier on the game. Patrick Beverly wasn't playing; he was on the bench, and he was talking shit to Pat Bev, and he was saying, "I wish you were out here." And then Lillard came to the line at the end of the game and missed 2 free throws. I think he only needed to hit one
Oh
to
boy.
win it. And so Patrick Beverly was in his shirt about it and just talking shit on the bench. And then afterwards, the media was talking to Dame, and he's like, "Listen, I understand they're mad. I knocked them both out of the playoffs before, so they know that I'm the shit." So, to that effect. And then after that, he just went off. 51 points, 61 points, and now Dame Lillard's come to kill everyone.
But
So,
I
I
mean,
mean, what player do you identify most with? Because if it's me, I do
You're
like
Patrick
Pat
Beverly.
Beverly. Yeah,
Yeah.
100% I go Patrick Beverly route. I'm
I'd
talking
say
shit and instigating all of the minutes,
it's
every
the
minute.
easiest route because especially if you have if you have the sort of history like Patrick Beverly has, that's just what you're known for. The shit talking defending guard that tries to take on most of the best guards on their other team. And he does it well. It did not phase Dame. Which again
He's just
makes me think he's a top guard in the league. I know Kawhi is still Kawhi and he just won a championship, but just think about the situation Lillard is in and just how he basically carried that team. He's carried that team for years now, and
Long
if he
time.
wasn't on if he wasn't on Portland, I mean they wouldn't even be a 500 team. I don't even think they'd be sniffing 500 at all. So
They'd probably be out of
he's
the league.
yeah, I don't I think they I think that
Stop,
he
stop, drop, and sell shop. They'd be gone.
they just deregulate them out of it. They bring up the tropics or something. But
Yes.
Do you mean
he
relegate?
yeah, give me the
Nope. Renegade.
relegation.
We're gonna renegade him.
We're regulators.
Mount up.
Somebody tweeted, and I think that it's probably correct that no single player is more important to their team in city as Dame is to Portland. I think that's absolutely correct.
I'd have to think about it.
He's been there his whole career, and this is like current players. He's been there his whole career. They've been relevant mainly because of him. He's got big playoff moments.
I don't know. I would argue Derrick Rose for the Bulls now. Still to this day, people still talk about him. They're like, "Oh, Derrick Rose
Maybe.
Bull for life."
It wasn't. That's dumb.
No, not really. If Bulls fans still talk about it. I mean, fuck. John Paxson even says he's like, well, if Derrick Rose didn't get injured, we'd be in a much different situation in 2019. It's like, all right, John, get the fuck out of here.
Well, like it probably outweighs Kevin Garnett when he played in Minnesota, right? Like I'd probably take Dame over KG.
Yeah, that's like a whole different era and a whole different position in general. I mean, I KG. I mean, the thing is, he never made it to a finals. So even in that era, I'm taking Kobe over
Did they
him.
even win a playoff series?
Yeah, they made it to the Western Conference Finals
Yeah.
against the Lakers. Got the shit kicked out of them. But
Was
those
that
Lakers
oh
teams were.
four?
I
But if
think it
you
was
can name
earlier than that.
can you name
03.
any other player off of any of those teams?
Sam Cassell. That's about it. Sam Cassell is the only one I can really recognize. Yeah, he basically. I mean, in that team, those Timberwolves teams were like number one in the conference too. I mean, I think people underlook this Garnett the same way in that era that they underlook Dame in this era. I mean, it's because I mean if Portland makes a finals, I'm sure that'll change. But if they at this rate, I really don't see them making a final, even
Yeah,
with
I don't think
Dame or
they make
not.
it.
I mean, there's just a lot of talent that they got to go against, and I mean, you look at kind of what LeBron and the Lakers are doing right now. It's a hard wagon to beat. If I were to say though, if there was any year to do it or to make the finals, it would definitely be this year for this team. So this is probably going to be one of their best opportunities to do it.
Also, I think equally as important, that would mean Carmelo Anthony in the finals.
Oh, he's sick. He's
Fi-
back. He's just getting wine drunk, a sommelier like he is. He's getting wine drunk in his hotel, going to the court and just shooting shit up, and he's making a lot of it. So it's like this guy's on his god level right now. He's back, and I'm so in for Carmelo winning a finals right now. That'd just be the great story of 2020.
We've also never seen finals Mello. Like we've seen
No,
Olympic Mello, we've seen Hoodie Mello, we've seen Nick Mello, Nugget Mello. We've never seen finals Mello. So it'd be interesting to see what finals Mello is. Is he
if it's
good? Is he
if it's
bad?
if it's anything like Hoodie Mello, I'd be absolutely terrified.
Olympic Mello is the top Mello.
Well, then they'd have to move in the 3-point line, but that's a whole different story.
No, he's just taking him from that distance. He's like,
Yeah.
Carmelo, this is not, we're not in Greece.
Yeah, but
That's not, that's 2 points.
what part of you is rooting for Carmelo right now? Is any part of you rooting for Carmelo Anthony?
I
Kinda.
think it'd be very funny. Yeah. See
I'd
him
re-
just like after all these teams, after all the shit that was talked about him and lack of effort, and he's only a scorer and blah, 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 blah. He goes out and averages, I don't know, 20 a night in the finals and wins a championship with a Portland team that wasn't expected to do it. That would be hilarious.
I'm just a hater. I don't want him to win.
What did he do to you recently? What had
Who the
happened to?
hell do you want to win? Who do you
Yeah,
want to win?
yeah. Tell me who
Can
you
they all?
wanting.
Can they all lose? Who can? I want one of them to. Nobody win. Just call it
Oh,
now. They get to Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and one person gets sick, and they go, "You know what? This was a bad idea. Close the bubble."
end it.
Pops. Nobody
End it.
wins.
Well, I wanted to bring
I
up
don't know.
another.
Maybe Giannis because he's out there headbutting folks.
Oh yeah, that was the weakest headbutt I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the other dude basically walked into his head and just like flopped. I'm like, chill the fuck out. It's like they're gonna suspend him
I
a
don't know.
game over that. It's like Jesus Christ.
Giannis could
I think it was
win.
awesome. Could you
Yeah,
imagine Giannis being like the villain at his size and speed and athleticism? That'd be
dear God.
terrifying.
Yeah, that if he had the same attitude that Pat Beverly had,
Oh my
that
god.
wouldn't that scare the shit out of you on the court.
Yeah.
There's no way
Well,
it doesn't
He
scare
would
you.
he'd run the league. He'd make himself commissioner. He would be in charge and everybody would be scared underneath him
are you talking about if
and
Nobody would
nobody
say
could do
no.
anything about it.
Are you talking about if Pat Beverly was Giannis's height, or if Giannis had Pat Beverly's attitude? What
I'm
would
saying
you?
yeah, if Giannis
I mean,
it's
what's the
Giannis,
difference in the two
it's
scenarios? That's the same
Yeah, they're basically
they're
the
the
scenario.
same
same exact
monster.
scenario.
They're the same
No,
monster.
well,
No,
no, I
what
think
what you
the
what
difference
you're
is
saying
like
is the exact same thing. You're saying two things that are the same thing.
well,
Well,
no, because if you go the Giannis route, like Giannis, you have him being a good guy and like, oh, he's just this guy who's never had smoothie and he loves America and he's super nice. And then you get like the downfall, kind of like Hollywood Hulk Hogan,
yeah.
and then he
Yeah,
turns into
he
this
goes
villain.
NWO. Yeah,
I think that's a much cooler story. Well, Pat Beverly immediately becoming the best basketball player in the
I mean,
world.
yeah,
It's a hilarious story, just out
that
of
would be funny
nowhere.
too.
His age 32 basketball year, he's like, he's an MVP now. It's been so long. Pat Beverly is finally developed.
Yeah, he's like Euro stepping one, like he's taking like one step from inside the 3 point line and making it to the rim.
It's like, what
Like,
the fuck is this guy? Who is this?
Pat Beverly has all of the talent of the NBA All Stars. That's when you get suspicious. If you
I would
see
get a
him
yeah, it's
throwing
essentially
basketball,
Space. What if
it's a
that was the
Space Jam.
premise for Space Jam 2? It's just Pat Beverly took everybody's talents, and then
Oh
LeBron has to play the
shit!
Clippers in the finals to get everybody their powers back.
I would watch
he'd,
that movie. I don't want to watch it now, but if that was the premise, I knew that was the premise, I'd watch it.
if they took Pat Beverly out
Yeah.
and made it Lance Stevenson, then I would definitely watch the movie. I'd be there at midnight for that movie.
He's just blowing in everybody's ear.
Yeah, but the blowing in the ear is actually like a tsunami current, so it has to like push his ass back so far, so it's like real superpowers.
Yeah. Yep.
All I'm saying is all of
Make that
Hollywood hit
movie.
my line.
Yeah, I
Make
mean
that movie.
we're making better Space Jam movies than LeBron is, and we're nice enough to feature LeBron. We're not even taking him out of the role. We're just making a better plot.
Do you want to guess what the premise of Space Jam 2 is right now?
It's gonna be lazy. It's gonna be the same thing. Like somebody's gonna take some current player's talents. The better question is who are gonna be the players that they're taking it from? I can see like
Don't we already know that? Don't we know that
it's
like based on who filmed with him?
it's got oh wait, that's true. Who filmed with him? It didn't like Isaiah Thomas filmed with them, and it's like they took his talents 4 years ago. What the fuck? I mean, what talents are they taking from
Maybe
him?
that really happened. Maybe he never got his back.
Yeah, it's based on a true story. I tease at the shooting. It's like, all right, when am I getting this shit back? That's what I'm waiting for. Where's that written in at?
Isaiah Thomas is just the Muggsy Bogues of this one, right? Like they're
Yeah.
just doing kind of a direct ripoff, it seems like.
Who's
Is
the
it the
tall
same
guy?
movie? It's like shot for
I think it would
shot,
be
same movie.
I would say
Boban.
Kristaps.
No, it's gotta be
Oh,
Boban.
Boban, yeah. Yeah,
I
it would be
think Bo
Boban.
because he was already in John Wick too. He was in the third one. He was in the John
He
Wick
was good
3.
in it. Yeah.
How
He got his
good,
ass
Devin?
kicked.
Tell me how good it was.
10 out of 10.
Who's Charles Barkley? It should be Zion, right?
Yeah, his fat ass. No, It should just be Charles Barkley again. It's like, this is terrible. They took
I
all
feel
the
like I
best
can.
basketball talents, the last of it.
I'm
It
gonna
would be
look it up.
Patrick Ewing.
I don't
Who else
know.
is good?
I hope it's not anybody like fucking Draymond. I can see his ass being in it for some reason. But I think he
Call
hates LeBron though too.
Oh,
He hates LeBron though too, so he might not be in it. Who are people that suck up to LeBron? Yeah, it'd be the same group like Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade,
I
fucking
think Lillard's in it. I think Dame's in it.
I could see that. I bet
You know
he's
who
in
else is
it.
in it? I'm looking up the staff right now, or
Yeah,
the
tell us, tell us, tell
the
us.
and
cast.
you.
The
I think in the
staff.
cast, you guys are gonna love this. You're gonna be very happy with the second person on the call sheet. That is one Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle will be in Space Jam: A
Oh,
New Legacy. It's not even Space
oh,
Jam 2. It's
baby.
What?
Mini Me is third on the call sheet.
Shut.
Wait,
He's
what?
dead.
Like,
He's
Vern
dead.
Vern Troyer's dead. You sick bastard.
oh, it's a different guy.
Oh fuck.
What? How do you
You are
fuck that
He's
going
in.
in
up?
hell.
He's in. It doesn't have the other. It doesn't have the other basketball players.
So the only basketball players you have is Dame Lillard. Chris Paul's gotta
Mm,
be in it.
Chris Paul, I think, is in
Is
it too.
Danny DeVito in it in this one?
Is
He
Kevin
wasn't on
Hart?
the call sheet.
Danny DeVito was not in the first one. You're thinking of Newman.
Oh, it's got Damian
What are you
Lillard,
talking
Anthony
about?
Davis, and
Danny
Klay Thompson.
DeVito is not in Space
Danny
Jam.
DeVito's the guy that
Yes, he
runs the
is.
amusement park in space, you jagoff.
Oh fuck! The cartoon. God damn it. Yeah, you're right.
Put
Now I look like a
put some
jagaloon.
respect on
That's
his
way worse than
name.
what I said.
Fuck. Oh, dude. I keep thinking because I that looked
It's
bad.
got it's got
Where
Clay,
is Broken
AD,
at?
Dame, probably Chris Paul.
Oh, AD's in it. That makes sense. Suck up to him. Him and Kuzma. He's like, thanks, LeBron.
Yeah,
Let me
Giannis
suck
said
on your
no.
tip. Oh,
Giannis
good.
was offered, but said no, thank you.
What did Durant
Like
say to
that.
it? He's like, I don't got time, LeBron. I'm too busy spying on American
He asked
citizens.
he asked Twitter. Twitter said nah.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I wouldn't want. I feel like Katie's a weird guy. He doesn't seem like. It seems like people wouldn't want to hang out with him. He seems strange.
Did you see the other story about the bubble?
Which
That
one?
you have to establish a length of time of people, like how long you've known them for them to come into the bubble.
Yeah, they. It's like. I
So
was
like you
about to
can't
bring
have
that
just
up.
met them. Yeah, you go for it. You know more about it than me.
So it's basically a way to tell them like it's essentially like conjugal visits. That's what it's, I would look at it as. Like they want
But they said
these
no to that.
players to have their significant others doubled into it because this is turning into like getting Instagram thoughts into the bubble. That's what they're afraid of. Like all these Insta whores that are like, "Oh, I got an invite to the bubble. Don't want to do it though. I'm a little scared, but like they still want to do it because that's it's their life. I mean, that's what they do. They go to NBA players, they drink their alcohol, and then they try to sleep with them. But from that point, they are very much trying to get families together in this bubble because it's going to be a 2 to 3 month period still of the playoffs. So it's almost like a conjugal visit thing where they'll have the significant other come in, maybe a kid or two, one of their children that can be able to go in, but they can't really be there for a long period of time. It's going to be like a one-time thing to see them halfway through. I was going to bring this up because Stephen A. Smith was very much into it, very horny on live television talking about it too. He was,
What else is new?
he was
Good old
like,
horny Stephen A.
he's like, Max, I'll tell you this, and I'll keep it to this: those boys will do a lot better if they got to see their significant others in the bubble. If you know what I mean. It's like he's like he really wants those guys to give out the pipe. That's what he's trying to point out to. He really wants the NBA players to be happy.
I think this is one of those things that Adam Silver kind of dropped the ball on. If they wanted to get the women of Instagram into the bubble, what they should have done is just like they built the barbershop, they should have just built a house there and then had all of the Instagram ladies just live in the house in quarantine and be
The
like, all
Thought
right,
House.
now you, yeah, the thought house. Now you're just here. You stay here.
it would give them motivation, like for teams. Like the coaches would probably be like, if we don't win this fucking game, none of you are going to the Thought House tonight. Like, yeah, we're monitoring that shit.
That makes Adam Silver a pimp, I'm pretty sure.
Well, no, because there's no exchange of money.
They're just staying there.
At least not for the
Instead of
first
money, it's
interaction.
clout. It's clout. Yeah.
They're getting something in exchange for goods and services. I think he's a pimp in
I
that
mean,
scenario. I
that's
think he's gonna.
every relation. Is that not
I
every
think
relationship?
he's gonna have to change his wardrobe. He's gonna have to change the way he walks a little bit.
Devin has never gotten Sue's anything during their time together.
Not once.
listen, sweetie. I'm not a pimp. I'm not buying you dinner.
I don't.
Not once.
I don't believe in pimping out my women. I'd rather have them pay for their half.
One more bubble story. Kyle Kuzma saying that he would shoot over the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because he shot over Taco Fall to win the game. I think that was fun.
Yeah, you know, you bang Kylie Jenner for like 3 weeks, and then this is what comes out of it. This guy is, but he's riding on cloud nine. I mean, let's be honest. The Lakers are the best team in basketball right now. Best team starting out in the bubble, and they just won a big game. And I bet he was saying a lot of crazy shit, and I would be too if I just made a game winner like that. But he's going to have to check himself a little bit. I think Jesus can handle a hizzy. He can handle a crossover. He's going to put his hand up.
He has shown that he has issues with that in the past.
Yeah, true. The cross does really get his ass sometimes, but he recovers. It takes him a couple days to recover, but he gets back from that shit pretty hard. So if you get him on a break after a bad game, he's going to light your ass up. So,
So can we
you
talk?
know, Jesus
Are we?
Christ.
We're getting canceled and going to hell now. We're doing both
Yeah.
of those things.
Yes.
Plus,
Yes.
he's got those sick J sandals. He's not getting crossed up. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, true. Those things got some
I
good grip on them too, probably. Those
He might
Birkenstocks.
not get crossed up because Jesus was like 4.5 feet tall, right? Just with how
Yeah,
long ago that happened.
but pretty
Yeah,
sure he can fly. I think that's one of his superpowers.
so is
I don't.
Isaiah. So is Isaiah
I think you're
Thomas. He was
thinking.
4 feet
I think you're
tall.
thinking of Superman. Different guy.
Laser vision
Ah,
and see throughs.
Jesus Christ! Noted laser vision activist and
Super
haver.
speed,
It's X-ray vision.
super strength. We're talking
He
about
rides.
Jesus, right?
He rides a Batmobile too. Wait? I got a new one. Would Jesus be effective not in a city like Spider-Man?
No way.
Yeah, if the rural area has a well, then you've got to pump the well to then be able to turn that into wine. It takes too much time. Everybody at the party's already left.
Shit,
Oh.
I don't think he's as effective.
you heal like 10 blind people in middle of Kansas, nobody gives a shit. You go downtown New York, maybe you got some cooking.
All I'm saying is that get Jesus out of Jerusalem, and we got a whole different story here. I don't think he plays the same.
Is Jesus a system quarterback?
Yeah, very much, very much.
He's a scrambler.
Well, Kyle Kuzma, right?
Is that where you thought that would end up? Is that where you thought?
He brought it up. He said he'd take on Jesus Christ. So I mean, he's the one that's really going to hell over
Yeah,
us.
he's
We're
the
just
worst out of
we're talking about this. We're forced to be talking about this subject because Kyle Kuzma is a heathen. But I didn't want to. We got to talk about Jesus' basketball game though.
All I'm saying is Kuz has 2 feet on him. He's lunch meat. It's over. Can you
Yeah.
imagine you see Kyle Kuzma and Jesus Christ on the hard court and somebody's yelling mouse in the house as he's just going right around him?
Oh fuck. He's about to
Everybody's
part that court though. He'll part. Oh, that's Moses. Fuck. Dude, what is Jesus? He'll turn that basketball into what? Bread? Or fish? Or wine? Something. He'll do something sick.
As you can tell, we're a highly religious podcast.
Oh
I'm
my
Bill
God.
Maher. I'm Bill Maher. Back to religious.
New rules. Don't talk about Jesus on the podcast.
Listen, we made those rules after the segment, so from this point on, maybe.
We're rule breakers, though. To be honest, we are rule
Yeah.
breakers. So, wow, I can't. That happened. Hey guys, that happened.
Good work, everyone.
All right, do the next thing.
Speaking of things that happened, NHL playoffs.
Yeah, that definitely happened.
Columbus and Tampa Bay go to 5 overtimes.
Everything
Could
involved in that is
the
insane.
Columbus goalie lost the game, made 85 saves. Could you imagine making 85 saves and playing for, I don't know, 6 hours, 7 hours, however long it took, and then losing?
At what point do you say fuck it? Like a normal human being being on the ice that long in that gear, like maybe after 10 minutes I'd say fuck it. Whatever goal you want, that's it. I'm done.
Well,
Top
he
top
he's
guys had like 48, 51 minutes on ice.
well, he said it technically after the 88th shot that he gave up the last goal. That's when he said it. He's like, "Fuck
I would
this,
just like
I'm done."
sidestep it. Yeah, you just like stand behind the net. It doesn't even make sense. Don't save it. Go home.
I'd be pissed though. I don't know how I'd react to my teammates. It's like, I've done this much, and you can't fucking do this much. You can't score what? You can't score one fucking goal. Like I'd be furious. I don't know how these goalies can do it.
I think they're either going to get swept or they're going to win the next 4. There's no other option. You
I,
either like have this impassioned speech and then you go on to win the Stanley Cup, or you just get blown out for the next 3 games.
It'd be a sick movie. I'd watch that. But it'd be about Columbus. You have to make it about a different team. Nobody's watching a movie about Columbus.
Correct.
well, knowing what Tampa is, I'm sure that the getting swept route is probably what's going to be the best for them. They're going to get their little butts swept, and Tampa's pretty good. So
All
I
right,
don't give them
Columbus
that much hope.
Swept them last year when
Oh
they were
well,
the
that's
best team in the
last
league by
year. This is
far.
this year.
Yeah, but
I mean,
they had the Breadman last year. They don't have the
yeah,
Breadman this
they
year.
don't got they. There's a reason why Panarin got the big ass contract that he got because Columbus is, if you want to call it a playoff run, was really just basically Panarin dominating that playoff series. I mean, he
Okay,
was
what if I told you that Panarin wasn't on the team last year? Would you still double down?
no.
How if I told you Panarin wasn't on the team for the playoff run last year, would you still say that he carried him through that series?
Well, he was on the playoffs team. Wasn't he just a Ranger last? This is his first year as a Ranger.
I'm just saying, what if?
No, I would still say it because that's basically what happened.
This is why we need a fact checker. He was. He
What?
definitely wasn't. He
What?
was on the
What are
team.
you?
I just
What
want
are
to
you
see.
doing? Oh, this
I
is
just,
Steven's the biggest hockey hardo ever. Like he's just such a.
he
Oh, do you
You
know?
don't
Do you
you
know
don't
the
know my
fourth line?
sport.
Do you know the fourth line of the? You like hockey? Name the fourth line of the Islanders. You don't fucking
That's
know
easy.
them, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give me a hard one next time. Just
Listen,
asking a hypothetical
nobody
question.
knows nobody knows everybody on the Islanders. Nobody cares about a roster that averages like 2 goals a game.
Well, then, if Panarin wasn't the one that carried Columbus last year, who was it? Rick Nash? Is he still there? Is he carrying them?
It was Rick Nash. Yes,
Yeah.
correct
Fuck.
answer.
Yeah,
Rick
I
Nash.
knew it. Knew it.
It's Rick Ross.
Also,
He's a
also the Hawks lost.
Yeah, don't bring that
bad,
up.
like really bad. They
Yeah,
got
that was a.
fucking like a fucking train hit them.
It was 0-0 after the first intermission, and I was just like, this is not going the way. We had to
They
really
were getting
watch this for the next 4 games. Jesus Christ, this is gonna be bad.
the whole fourth line for the Knights are like they're 200 plus big boys who just run over people. Like that's their whole fourth line is to just destroy teams.
Well, they can't get anywhere in the blue zone. I mean, they can't even. They can't get it. Their offense can't get going anywhere in their zone. They literally have to play dump and chase, and their forwards have to be on defense so often during this game. I hope things change. You can't just assume that it's going to be like speeded up, like high pace. Like obviously the Knights are trying to slow down the game and just keep puck possession and they did that pretty well last night. I mean, the Hawks barely got 20 shots on. I think they just got 20 shots on goal, and half of those shots were whatever.
Yeah, go on.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice if they had Robin Lerner too. I mean, you look back now, it'd be nice to have Crawford and Lerner. Who would you rather have right now as a goalie for the playoff run?
You said
I mean,
Crawford or who?
Robin
Lerner,
hasn't lost
Robin.
in the last 6 games.
He's good. It pisses me off even more that they're in this situation. And obviously, when they made the trade, you can't just assume they were going to be in a bubble and there would be an opportunity like this to happen. But just think about how great that would be if they had Crawford and Lerner in. Because I don't. I mean, I'm not saying that. Well, not in at the same time, but like they had Crawford and Lerner on the same team. Like I can't say like that they would win it last night if they had two different goalies. It'd be a better
Listen, there's
option
a
to
lot of
Do
have.
it.
things you can't say.
I
Yeah, you
Fuck
know.
it.
know.
Put 2 goalies in. I don't give a shit. Try to
Yes,
score on
yeah.
2 guys.
Four people out on the ice, two goalies in the back will be good.
Hashtag start learner.
It's he's good. I mean, he lost his skate about 8 times last night, but outside of that, I mean, he's pretty fucking good.
He's
And
really
his
been.
last name's Laner, so there's that.
It's a Chicago. I'm gonna call him Lerner. I'm not gonna change. Laner? What am I fucking? I don't even know what that is. That's Lerner.
So it's the last name, I think.
It was a very good politician's breakdown of a hockey game where you said a lot, but not a whole lot at the same time.
Well,
So
there's
I
not much
like
to
it.
say. Like they had puck possession, they had more shots on goal, they scored more goals. That's how you win hockey games. There's nothing that positive came out of that game yesterday for the Hawks outside of Crawford. Actually, no, Crawford gave up some shit ass goals at the end. So I didn't see
The
many
second was it the
positives.
second goal? Was it the one that went over the glove?
That was the
I think
third goal. That was the
No,
ender.
there might
the second goal shouldn't have counted because the Knights were offsides. They reviewed it. They were still
Yeah,
offsides.
I
For some
didn't get
reason, they
that
called it
shit
a good
either.
goal.
I don't understand the offside rule. This guy's got two skates over the blue line. He's like, well, one skate's up in the air, so that doesn't mean it's over. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? This guy's
Got
clearly
to
on
be
the
on
other
the ice.
side.
Yeah.
What does that mean? He is on the ice. I didn't understand the fucking concept. So if he hops in the air while the guy crosses through, he's technically not on the ice. So I can
I
just
think
be
they really got to figure out the offsides rule because it seems like every officiating crew has a different definition of what offsides is, and it cannot be that hard. It's
it
not
can't
that
be.
difficult of an idea.
Because
It's an easy concept.
so
Just
is
figure the fuck out.
so if that's the case, like I'll just have somebody stand in the crease, and then when somebody's coming to the blue line, I'll have somebody standing by the blue line, and then when they're crossing, I'll be like jump, and then he'll jump, so he's technically not on the ice. So we have an advantage right there. That's how I look at the way that they interpret that rule yesterday. I didn't fucking
Well,
understand that one bit.
we got to get you behind the bench of a NHL hockey team because this is revolutionary.
Yeah. Hey, get somebody somebody already just cherry picking. It's just
I
what
want to
I
see you. I
create.
want to see you draw this up on the whiteboard. Okay, then you're gonna jump in the air as high as you can.
Nothing to draw up. We just get our biggest forward. He's playing in the middle. He doesn't even have to enter in the other team's zone. Just stay in
You
our
know what?
zone.
Better yet, instead of jumping, have him lay down on top of the net behind the goalie until.
Anywhere. Just don't be on the ice. Apparently, just don't be on it. You'll be fine. Just be on the other side. If you're not on the ice when they cross with the puck on the blue line, you're not offsides. So put them
Have
anywhere.
them shimmy on the boards where the glass is and hold on to the top and kind of walk their way down the side of the glass until sneak behind the goalie.
We're coming up. Any coaching staff that wants to take on the three of us, and we work on this tactic with your players. We'll get it down in a couple of months.
I think I'm out. I don't think I want any part of this. I don't want to be
Oh,
associated with
this
that.
wasn't. You weren't involved. It was me and Devin
Yeah,
more so.
we didn't want you on this anyways.
Yeah, let me get Steve, the real hockey guy. He's the
You get
expert
me?
here.
Just
No, the three guys we're talking about is me, Steve, and Lerner, and you
yeah.
fucking know that.
Hey, you know what?
I'm a big learner guy.
I've called him that forever. This isn't even a hockey thing. I called Alshon Jeffries. So this is just me being a dumbass. This is just in any situation.
Well, I'm glad that we have you talking about this subject.
Yeah. You know what, Devin? tell me what your analysis is on this game then, because I think I did a good justice. They didn't have the puck. They didn't shoot a lot of shots, and they lost because of it. Is there more to
What
it?
more? What more could be said?
What I mean, it's literally what it is. It wasn't even that highly contested of a game. The Hawks were never in it to begin with.
Yeah, they got railroaded there. What I do like, which is a weird fact, is that there's only 10 referees in each city. So if one team plays a full game plus 5 overtime periods, that means that one referee team has also played one game and 5 overtime periods, and then they have to go back to work the next morning.
The next
Like
afternoon,
like they
they
don't
got
get
to.
a break. So these guys are
Well,
going to
they
be
also had to
fucking
make up. I think they
shitty
had to
by the
make
end
up
of the
that Bruins game, so they
yeah,
started earlier. I think they
right.
started that game at like 11 a.m.
Can I also say this?
Actually,
I got
if I'm the refs, I'm fucking pissed off at both teams. I'm like, you guys
Fuck yeah.
couldn't figure this shit out after like the first overtime. Like, one of you two idiots just score a goal.
If I'm a ref, I'm kicking the puck in. I'm kicking the puck in. I'm standing right in front of the goal
we're not
and I'm
taking it to
helping.
Toronto either. This is how it
Yeah.
ends. I'm not
Yeah,
going
it's
to fucking
done.
review it.
Everybody go to the fucking locker room. If the game's over, you grab a stick from somebody else and you fucking rocket that shit into a goal.
The coach is like, no, no, we need to review it. And the ref's like, just believe me. Get in your fucking locker room.
Dude, that's
uh,
that's so long.
yeah, that
Speaking
was
of
a
shit
long.
that sucks, the Big Ten and the Pac-12 canceled fall
It's
football.
all gonna cancel.
No, no. That's the problem right now because there's no organized shit. There's no organization. So
I don't. I don't think you could take football from the South.
they're not gonna. They're
Well,
not
they're
going to
playing
stop.
themselves then. Aren't they just gonna do it later? Aren't they gonna do it in the spring? Aren't they pushing it back?
That's in
Yeah,
theory, but if this is the problem. There's no organization, at least in the Power Five. Like, why would they play in the spring if these three conferences are already playing in the fall, and then they're gonna play? What's gonna happen? That just is confusing to
So
me.
are those three conferences gonna play in the fall and then play in the spring? That shit don't make no sense. Like everybody's got to play
no.
together.
They're playing in the spring. Well, this is the problem. I think this is the issue that has the whole sports community just infuriated. The NCAA wants to act like a big conglomerate organization that really controls all these conferences until they really need to do something like that because now everybody's their own individual thing and now there's no organization at all, even though the NCAA wants to work like, I don't know, I look at it like almost like the NCAA is the commissioner and they're Goodell and they're taking in all the revenues, but they're not setting out an organized sort of response to this, and they've had months to do it, so now they got to depend on all these conference leaders that really don't know what to do. And they're in a shit situation because it's gonna be really weird this fall. I don't know what's gonna happen.
You know what's crazy? The crazy part is that like the Big Ten, for example, they're gonna play a spring season and then they're gonna have to turn around and then also play a fall
It's
season.
it's dumb. It's never gonna work like that. They say that so that it can calm people down. It's not going to work, especially if there's gonna be conferences that are playing in the fall. Like, I don't know, what is the point of playing in the spring? What do you win? Just winning your conference? At that point, who cares? It's just.
Gives a shit.
Yeah, it just this is not what college athletes came into football to do. They wanted to play for the national championship. So it's and it seemed like all that was going to happen anyway. They were going to have bowl games. They just all play their own separate conferences. So I get more confused by it as well. It seemed like, they all put out their conference schedules. It seemed like they were all going to be good to go, and then they voted against it. That was yesterday, wasn't it? Both of them, the Big 12, Big 10 and Pac 12 were yesterday, and that sucks.
I agree.
Well, you also hear what Nebraska and Iowa is trying to do. They're trying to go. They're trying to do a one-time deal and play in the Big 12 and play a Big 12 conference. So those teams in the Big 10 are trying to move out, playing these conferences that are already playing, and I can see that happening as well. Because fuck, honestly, if I'm a student athlete, and I know this is like, I guess, a political thing. I don't know what kind of world we live in where a pandemic is political, but this is where we're at. But I mean, if I'm a student, I say fuck. I mean, I want to play. I've come here to play. I want to do it. And if I have to go, and they all bring up a good point. If I still have to go to classes during this shit, why can't I practice and play and do all this? You're already putting me out in danger to begin with.
I think the whole thing's weird. I can't see the SEC canceling just because
Oh
that's
hell
that's
no.
like one of those that's like one of those things where like the wife dies and then the husband dies like 2 days later. Like when they get old, like you can't if you take football away from these people, they're just going to all die.
Saban's not gonna last a month. Are you kidding
Well,
me?
Hey y'all, we about to watch Manchester take on Liverpool. You coming down? We about to see them score some goals, y'all.
could you imagine that crowd at a soccer game?
Fuck, dude. They're gonna tailgate the soccer games from now on. I mean, they hate NASCAR now too. So now soccer's all they got left.
NASCAR, too political for my blood. I'm out. One black driver. I'm out. Fuck this. Too political.
Hey y'all, we Chelsea fans now. We like that team Barcelona.
Well, they'll be Liverpool fans for like a week, and then they'll find out like LeBron's like a partial owner. He's like he's a communist. I'm out. Fuck this.
I knew they were red for a reason.
The beef list
They're
by
on it.
Beefaroo.
That's not
Steve,
even
do the Beefaroo ad. Do
Do
it.
the
Play
ad
it.
read.
Play the fight
beef
riff.
for real. So guys, like I said, I've been hankering a cheddar beef badly, and the bread is you think of a fast food place, the bread is key. This bread at Beefaroo is freshly made. It's fantastic. You can get some good delicious milkshakes there as well. So go to Beefaroo if you're in the Northwest Illinois region, specifically around Rockford, and have yourself a good time. Have some good eats. Do they have onion rings there, Devin?
Yes, they have
Get
onion rings.
Yeah, they're
They're a
really
little
good.
bit different than onion rings, but they're not bad.
They're funner. So get that and go to Beefaroo.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Could you imagine if they did make their bread fresh? It'd be so much better.
Why you gotta say this? All right, they do. In my mind, they got the freshest bread. I've never eaten there, but I know that their bread is fresh.
Hey, if that's what the ad read says, that's what the ad read
What if there?
says. I don't
What?
fault you.
What if there's a restaurant there like we're known for our stale bread? It's like, well, what the fuck? No,
Well,
it's
doesn't Jimmy
better.
John sell stale bread for like
Yeah,
$1?
yeah, 50 cents.
There you
Yep,
go. Yeah,
I get
I'll
it
have the shit
sometimes.
bread for 50 cents
I'll get
for
it
duck.
for the
I'll
ducks.
take two. Let me take 2 shitbreads, please.
Did you hear what some of the like bars in downtown Chicago had to do because you
What?
have to serve food in order to have your bar open?
I
So
think
they have a menu. It's called a shit sandwich, and you can order a shit sandwich for 1 penny, and it's 2 pieces of stale bread and a slice of Kraft cheese. And they sold that so they could get around the ordinance where they could sell alcohol and also serve food.
so fucking ridiculous. I've heard stories like that. I didn't know that that was one of the options. I'd have to go to that
Yeah,
bar just to do it.
I'll have a shit sandwich.
I would do it. Yeah, you gotta order it at that point, right? Like, there's
Yeah.
no denying that you can't.
Well, you have to. Yeah, you have to order it. Do you eat
Would
it
it
though?
kill him
That's
to
the
like give me
question.
some actual like food?
Yeah, that's what
You
they're
could
there
also
for.
just give you
What
could
if
also just give me some food.
what if they just legit shit in a bag and just place it on your table? It's like, here's your shit sandwich, sir. It's like,
Look, you can
oh.
make your home run in pizza at home.
For an extra $2.50, they'll light the bag on fire for you.
Can we do the fun topic, the football one, the quarterback one? We didn't do it last week, and I want to do it because I got some good ones.
Yeah, so we got sidetracked last week and we didn't get to do this, but we're going to do a topic or segment that is going to be running. It's going to be NFL starting quarterbacks as cars. I did car brands over like specific cars,
Oh,
That's
but
easier for
you
me.
could you could do it either way.
I'm
We're
gonna
gonna
do.
go by we're gonna go by division. So we're gonna start with the NFC North because we are an NFC North podcast.
Yes, yes, we are. I'm not gonna do
So how do you want to
years.
do this?
I'm not gonna do years, but I'm gonna do make and model.
Oh, okay.
Who's going first? Or what? Who in terms of who's going first? What quarterback's going first? So we get a quarterback, we put him out there, and we say which kind of car.
Let's go Minnesota first.
Oh boy, this
We'll
is
go
fun.
left to right.
This is the one. Oh
You like that?
yes, of
Yeah, you
course,
like that.
of course. I like it. That this guy's the guy I like to shit on the most.
All right. Well, you want to go first
Shit on
then,
him.
or you want to
Yeah.
go
So
last?
I'll go
Get
first.
the toilet
So
paper ready.
I'll go first for this one. So it was hard to pick. For Kirk Cousins, I like to think of him as a person that he doesn't want to take an SUV because it's too big for him, but he also doesn't want to take on a sedan because that he's a tough guy. He's a football guy, at least in his mind. So he's got to have a crossover in between. So my pick for him is a Subaru Outback. That's what I think of when I look at Kirk Cousins because again, he's a family man that d- can't really handle a big boy car, but again, he doesn't want the sedan. He needs a Subaru Outback. So it gives him enough space to pack things, and he can put some things on top of there too. And it seems like a Subaru Outback would be the car that a guy would drive when he grills steaks with wrapping paper underneath the steaks. So that's very. I thought that was very on brand for him.
That's fair. Devin, you want to go, or do you want me to go?
I'm gonna say this guy's a Volvo. He just
That's
Oh,
it's not good. Uh, he plays a good game until it's important, and then he's gonna break down on you. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be messy. You're gonna have to call AAA pretty quick. I'm going Volvo.
I went kind of along the same lines, but a little bit different. I mean, he's a reliable guy. Like he'll be out there. Very sensible. He's not going to blow you away. He'll have some solid performances. Um, kind of costly to maintain, and I'm going to go with a Volkswagen. He's
yeah.
a Volkswagen Tiguan to be specific.
Oh shit! I know somebody who has one of those. I hope they listen to this.
So it's like, I mean, it's a solid car, right? But it's not like it'll get you there. It's relatively safe.
it's
It's
not.
not gonna break down that often. But like, it costs more to get an oil change for a Volkswagen, right?
Yeah, that is true.
That's a good
So
one.
that's why I went with that vehicle.
That's a funny one.
So we'll wrap around then. So what quarterback are we doing next?
Let's go Green Bay. We'll go left or right.
I don't know what left to right means.
What
I'm
did
not looking at the
Minnesota.
same. I'm not looking at the same list as
Minnesota
you.
is the furthest west, so we'll go Green Bay and
Oh,
then
you
go
mean
Detroit.
geographically?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I thought you were just looking at a list and your list had them next to each other.
isn't technically
No,
Chicago a little bit
that's my
further
bad.
west or further east than
No,
it
yeah,
isn't?
it's
I'm going
east.
north. I'm going north to south,
No, you're good. You're
west
just
to
going
east.
west to east. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
So Aaron Rodgers, so peak performance, right? He's top of the line. At the same time, a lot of people within his close knit community fucking hate his guts, and so for that, I picked that he's a Ferrari.
That's a
Ooh.
good one. I don't want to give him that credibility though, so I kind of duped him a little bit,
I
but
mean,
I
he's an
know what you're.
MVP. He won a
He is
Super
good.
Bowl.
He's
He's
one
the
of the
top of the
best.
line.
Blah, blah, I don't care. I don't care.
He's
He's
the
one of
top
the
of the
best.
line guy. Yeah, and a lot of car people hate Ferrari.
I'm gonna go the same route, and I agree with all of your sentiment, and I'm gonna say Porsche because I feel like a lot of
Mm.
people hate Porsche too. along the lines of Ferrari, I also think Porsche isn't as good as Ferrari, but Aaron Rodgers is good. I hate him, but also if I drove a Porsche, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, I would love to have a Ferrari.
I'd be super. I'd be super happy with that. Much happier with the car that I have.
Before I say my pick, I don't want, because Devin's a hockey snob. I don't want to be a car snob and say it's a Porsche. I don't know what backwood Porsche you're driving. It's a Porsche, but that. I'll leave it there. When
Very
it
snobbish. Very snobbish.
Hey, you got me on the learner shit. So again, I'm not going to change how I say it because you want to correct me. I'm just calling them the
I
same
I would
way.
I would say that was Nick, but yeah, we were both ripping into you on the learner thing for
You're
sure.
ripping it to me about the Panarin shit to begin with. So you started the hockey snob stuff. So I had to call you on the Porsche. You might have bought
I'm
off
still gonna
brand.
say I'm still gonna say Porsche.
Yes, I know you will. I know. That's why I love you.
I've seen the movies.
So I don't want to give him super luxury car. I'm going to give him a classic car, a classic American car. The body has changed on this car a lot, but it still runs and it's still got that name to it. I'm going to call him a Chevy Camaro. And I know that that's going to seem like it's shitty. Just a $25,000 sedan, but it's a speedster. It's a known convert. It's a known car. It's people look at it as classic American muscle, and that's what technically I guess Aaron Rodgers is, and that's I hate saying it. I hate saying that with a passion, but the model might change, the body might change on him over the years. It's still the same old muscle burner. So I mean,
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good comparison just because it's had a lot of success in the past, but it
yep,
ain't what it used to be.
yeah,
I think that's
but it
apropos.
still gets the job done. Even if it's not the same, it still gets the job done, and that's what hurts me when I say it.
Okay. So you are up and now it would be Mitch.
Yes. I'm not going to call him Maserati Mitch, and I think we've already said it in the past. I'm calling him Miata Mitch. He's a Mazda Miata, specifically the one that Stuart Little drove, the toy Miata. Uh, until he proves me otherwise, he's a Miata, and that's all I'll say.
Very fair, firm but fair. Respect that.
Thank you.
I don't know a shittier car than that. Um,
Oh,
I go.
oh, you called
I mean,
Stuart Little's car shitty? The fuck?
yeah, I'll shit on Stuart Little. I don't care. He's a man.
I don't think Stuart Little drove a Miata, but we'll let that one slide.
I
Yeah.
thought he did.
I don't think it's a Miata.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Uh, I don't. What's a bad car that's not gonna get you where you want to go? I'm gonna go. Fuck. Chevy Cavalier. Is that like the most dangerous car you could drive? There's zero safety features on it.
Just
You get.
wildly disrespectful.
It's gonna get
I
into
think
a
you
wreck, and it's gonna be really bad. It's gonna be
I
like
think
the
that's the
worst wreck.
worst thing that you could say about a human being.
He's a Chevy Cav. In my eyes, it's gonna be a wreck, and nobody's surviving.
I gotta say, I kind of went along those same lines. You know, good old American brand, showed some flashes here and there, but not sure that there's any real consistent quality there. I went with a Chrysler.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, yeah, I'll go with
All right. All
I
right.
don't really have a specific Chrysler for that. Just that brand in general feels like Mitch Trubisky. You know, like you've got certain Chryslers were good, right, back in the day, but
Yeah.
now like you got the 200, which is just a Sebring, and they changed the Pacifica into a minivan. It's just like, what the fuck are we doing? There's no real identity to stick to what has worked in the past. I say that to say Mitch is a Chrysler.
The last one's hard because like we're going Stafford, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Detroit Tigers. We're going Stafford. Like he's sneaky good. It's like weird how good his stats always are, even though his teams are always so shitty, which
Very true.
isn't totally. It's not his fault that his teams are shitty, but they are bad.
I think I got a good one for this. So expensive,
Okay.
explosive,
All right.
most of the time broken down.
All right.
He's a Jaguar.
Oh.
Oh, that's intriguing. That is an intriguing
My
pick.
Yeah, my dad used to work on cars all the time. He said when you buy a Jaguar, you have to buy two of them, one to drive and one to fix.
Ha ha ha. Classic
And
dad
they're
joke.
very expensive. Classic dad joke. And that made me
I
think of
love
Matt
it.
Stafford.
I love it. That's a good one. I really don't know much about cars, so I'm not going to do good at this game. This is going to be a bad game for me. But I'm thinking sneaky good. You don't expect him to be that good, but he's always there. I'm giving him a Toyota. I think Matt Stafford's a Toyota. His rankings are all really good, but when you think about the best cars, you never think about Toyotas.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
That is fair.
I
Um,
survived this game.
that's a
You made it out alive, my
That's
friend.
how I feel about this. I survived whatever we're doing right
So I'm really gonna get into specifics. I'm gonna double down on Devin's Toyota, and this isn't try to go against him, but I have to go into just what I feel. How I looked at this as not just like what type of based on how their play is. This is what I assume that they're driving outside of the games and into the games. I believe that Stafford is from Georgia. He's got that neck beard. He still seems like he's kind of redneckish in a way, but he's not full on like Jeep Wrangler type of guy. I'm thinking he's a classic pickup guy, so I'm going he's a Toyota Tacoma, specifically 1998 Toyota Tacomas. This man, he just is just a classic pickup guy, even though it doesn't look cool at all. It gets the job done. He gets stuff done. Not many people want to put him at the upper echelon. I think that he kind of is. And he's a gritty blue collar guy that just wants to drive a Tacoma to work. So that's what I look at Stafford as.
That's pretty good. I
Like
think that's solid.
again, I put a lot of
And
work into this one. That's why I'm excited about this shit. Like I'm very excited about this going forward.
now. I got to do some
yeah, so what we're
research.
gonna
I
do,
got to figure
we're
this
gonna
shit out.
do all of them, all
It's
of the
it should be
divisions.
before at least before the NFL season starts. It doesn't have to be every episode, but every week I think we should do this. This is
Can
a
we at
fun
least
one.
pick the next division so I can get a little bit of a head start?
Should we just go the counterpart AFC North?
Yeah, let's do that.
So don't do Duck. We're gonna do Roethlisberger because that's way more fun. We're gonna do
All right.
Joe Burrow.
Is Can
Um,
Roethlisberger be a motorcycle?
he could be a motor home. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, all right. Roethlisberger, Burrow. Who else is in there? Jackson.
Yeah, Lavar and our boy Baker. That will be a fun one too.
Oh boy.
That's gonna be a blast. I have a lot of cars in
Yeah.
my mind for him.
Oh baby. All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's a fun topic. I had fun with this one. Fuck.
I like how specific you got. I also like how we both had Toyota for Stafford. That makes me happy. That makes me feel like I'm not a total idiot.
Yeah, I don't even, Devin, just look up different just car bodies and you'll get a good, just don't even, you don't have to even know the model of it, the actual model name. Just
I
look
googled
up
car
bodies and
brand
you'll laugh.
images and just did the logos and I picked from that list.
Just find the goofiest fucking things, whatever you think that it can come in your mind, and just look up the model at that point. And that's how you can get it. But some of these, like I had Subaru Outback in my mind immediately for Kirk Cousins. That was like the
You
first
like
thought in
that?
my mind. He just screams a Subaru driver.
Yeah, I'd say Jaguar came to me almost immediately for Matt Stafford.
That's a good one. I never thought about that one. I like that though.
I still want a
All right.
Jaguar over whatever the fuck we got.
Yeah,
You know, like Chryslers. What about the 300? It kind of looks like a Phantom.
don't.
You're right. I'm sold. I'm back on the bus. Back on the Mitch bus.
That's it. We're in on Mitch.
I'm
Let's go,
100% in.
baby.
Sold.
Get him off the beef list.
What's
Do you have one for Foles? Could you do one for
yeah,
Foles? Like
I
real
could
quick, off the dome.
Hummer, because he's got a fucking monster dong. Hummer H2 specifically. He's got a fucking schlanger.
Is that a thing?
That's it. I think that's it.
It's
Yeah,
gotta be it.
that's a big.
Or
Yeah,
the
I
or
think
the
Nick.
new Ford Bronco, because that thing's gonna be fucking huge.
What's a car you trade in a bunch, but somebody keeps buying it?
Ford Fusions.
I would
Ford.
say probably some type of Honda.
I think it's some sort of Ford, like a Ford Focus. Maybe even back in
Like a
2000,
Rav4.
the mid
Like everybody's got a
2000s.
Rav4.
It was a Ford not Fusion. Fuck, Ford Taurus. That was
Yeah,
always
everybody had a
drove.
Ford Fusion. Everybody who was a dipshit had a Ford Fusion.
I drive a Ford Fusion.
Checks out.
Does that mean you're in on
Yes,
Foles then?
I'm
Yeah.
very
Yep,
much
both of
in.
them. Let them both play. Both of them are starting.
If we're playing two goalies, we might as well get two quarterbacks
Might
up
as
in here.
well. Nobody's thought about it before.
Can we do 2 starting pitchers?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
I mean
Both go at the same time.
Joe Madden did that, but he had one of them play in the outfield.
He
Genius.
made a catch at the wall, and then he
Yeah.
hit a home run. What do you want? The guy does everything.
This is the second time I brought this up in the podcast. This is the second time Nick has gotten offended that I brought it up in a negative light.
Listen, I will not take slander on this subject.
Take it. No, take it.
That's
Come on, dude.
That's an
Don't
athlete.
be weird. Don't be weird. Take a little slander.
A little bit.
Speaking of weird, how about that WAP song? You heard that song?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That shit's getting me fucking wet, if you know what I'm saying, folks.
Gross.
What's wrong with that?
I regret even bringing it up.
If you don't know what I mean, folks, I'm talking about sexual discharge.
Oh God.
Steve, can you please explain what's going on? As a new
No,
listener,
don't.
I have no
No.
idea.
Well, I'm
No,
glad you
don't.
asked,
do
Devin.
the ad read for WAP.
You thotties need some anthem to fucking clap your cheeks to? Here we go. This song right here. You brought it up.
Yeah, you
What?
brought it up, and then you made us feel bad about talking about it. That's fucked up, man.
I mean, that's about as fucked up as Devin talking about Vern Troyer, acting like he's still alive. I mean, that's fucked up.
No, it's the other guy.
What other guy?
There
It's
was
just Vern Troyer.
there
Who's
was
this other guy?
Are you talking about Wee Man?
No, not we, man. I'm gonna hold this picture up to the screen. You can't see it, but you can see why. Hold on.
Listeners, this is great content. Somebody holding up something to their screen. You guys know exactly what we're
It
talking
doesn't
about.
show up. The lighting's bad. It's not showing up. I don't know what that is.
I'm the old
It's too
person here.
bright.
Devin's putting his screen up to something, to the camera. He can't
Right.
just.
All
He
you're
can't
doing
just.
is talk about it.
Just.
Why
Fuck.
don't you just text you? No, you should just text me the picture.
No,
What?
not your dick.
Uh,
No,
Are you guys just don't use technology? Like what?
no.
Why am I doing a podcast with my grandparents?
Nick,
My case.
did you get my 10-cent check I put in the mail last week?
All right, I sent it. It's not gonna make me look any better.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know who that guy
Anywhere.
is.
You know. Yeah.
What was that guy in?
Pirates of
Austin
the Caribbean.
Powers.
1 or 2 and 3.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
It would be worse if the song was called like "Wet Ass Pussy Panties." That'd be a whole different story. Then
Oh
you'd
God.
have moist ass mop
Ugh.
mop.
Oh
Maps.
my
We're thinking
God.
about maps.
Well, yeah, they just want all the kids to be really good with geography.
Yeah. Let's talk about map, kids.
Like here's Saudi Arabia. This is where Spain is. You know.
These are my
Moist.
moist pussies. That's messed up, man.
And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here.
Kill it now before we get out of the
No last
reins.
words. No last words. Kill it.
We don't even have sponsors, and they've already pulled our funding.
P4U might double
Every
down. Who knows?
everybody's pulling out.
Everybody knows Beefaroo is full of wild boys.
He's like,
Uh,
you guys like those roast beef puss? Then you go to
Oh,
P4U.
Follow us Twitter at Jumbo Podcast, Instagram Jumbo Podcast. Check us out on YouTube. Wrap up video, which we'll be doing right now, which I'm sure is going to be a doozy.
Oh yeah.
Just search the Relatively Jumbo Podcast.
I'm sure it'll be loud as shit, at least on my end, because I don't know what the fuck is happening with
It'll be
Skype.
fine. It'll be fine.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We tell your friends to listen if you want to hear more of this quality content. Quarterbacks as cars, wet pussies, and the like. Any final words?
I just think that I think this is today, the last topic. I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry if I offended anybody that doesn't like the word moist or puss or ass or putting them all together. So I'll just say this: moist, 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 moist.